Good afternoon, all you trauma clearing badasses. So today I come to you with a brief live to talk about whether or not your coach should trigger you. First of all, I'd like to define a trigger, which is that anything that causes your nervous system to be overwhelmed. It's also something that reminds you of something that happened in the past that isn't happening right now. It's not a trigger if it's literal danger that's happening again. We're talking about something that reminds your brain and body of a time that something else happened and it isn't happening right now. So, in response to the question, should your coach trigger you? I'm going to say yes and no. They should inspire you. They should be someone who triggers your survival parts of you just a little bit, enough that you go, I want what they have, or I don't see exactly how what they're doing is possible, but I really secretly deep down kind of want it. Like they should be at a level maybe with things that inspires you, that makes you want to believe that what they have is possible. And like some of that can really feel like being actually triggered in context of your safety, your nervous system. Interruption, sorry about that. When I was getting my own coaching, I often actually had almost like the shakes when I was coming on to a call, because it did kind of, it did make my nervous system a little dysregulated. I also feel like in my experience, because I am also a therapist and I have a lot of experience with coping skills and building my window of tolerance, and I'm also a trauma survivor and I trust my own resilience, that wasn't a problem for me, that I could like cope with the level of kind of fear that was triggered by just the act of receiving coaching. If that's not true for you, then I definitely suggest working on some of the body work and some of the trauma therapy that I've outlined in my free download, because the no, should your coach trigger you, no answer is that you shouldn't be so triggered in your nervous system by coaching that it's interrupting your functioning, or that it's actually triggering you into a fight, flight, freeze reaction, or that it's tripping your polyvagal system and you're getting, you're getting into a shutdown mode. It's really important that your ability to regulate yourself and your ability to like tolerate a little bit of like discomfort, like that's solid. You can certainly work with a therapist and a coach. Like if you're having some more of that deeper hypervigilance, or you need some co-regulation with someone, that like you can get that with your loved ones or with a therapist, because a coach is not here to keep you in the same place that you're currently at. They are here to challenge you a little bit. So they very well may be triggering to your way of being that you've been through your entire life. And that can feel the same as other triggers. But it really shouldn't go so far as to inhibit your functioning or to make you like lose touch with your own body or your own like sense of reality. That's a hard one, because it's inherently questioning your sense of reality, which is going to invite you into new possibilities. But it's also, I think it's really about equilibrium. Can you stay balanced, or can you easily find balance for yourself in response to the challenge that is coaching? That might be the root of it, of being able to find the balance. I often liken therapy to the idea of learning not to control the waves of the ocean, but to actually learn that you're a really good sailor on the seas of life. And I think that that's a good example of like, you don't need to be the best sailor ever in order to receive coaching services, but you have to have a little bit of a sense that you can cope and survive life. And if you're honestly in a situation wherein you don't, like your basic needs are met, your roof is not secure over your head and you don't know how long you're gonna be there, or you don't have a job that is paying enough food and shelter and taking care of your loved ones, like those basic needs, of course, come before doing coaching and before doing therapy, honestly. Like there is a hierarchy of needs about our survival. And so self-actualization, which is something that coaching is a part of, is at the very tippy top of that triangle. So I think that like, yes, a coach can trigger you, a coach can inspire you, a coach can make you uncomfortable. They can help move you through birthing your vision of your best life or your most badass business, but they shouldn't take you to like the deep, dark depths of not feeling safe. They don't have to bubble wrap you, but they also shouldn't make you feel like you're under threat. Like physically, literally under threat. You might feel like it. Your ego might feel like it's under threat, but your literal body and nervous system needs to be soothed. Hopefully you can do that for yourself. I do have a video about different coping skills that you can do to regulate your mind and body, and that's certainly something that you can learn through therapy or self-help books or things like yoga, etc. So I just wanted to address that issue of like, sometimes your coach or your therapist or your loved ones will absolutely trigger you. Those triggers can be gifts that can tell you where you're emotionally and physically and spiritually kind of hooked about something, like you have a construct about it, but also there is a limit of like, you still need to be able to be literally physically safe to learn how to regulate your nervous system and things like that. So feel free to post your questions in the comments. I can explain that much more thoroughly if you like, but I just wanted to give you a sense of that because I've heard many different answers to that question. Some people are like, yes, your coach should trigger you and push you and make you uncomfortable. And I think that like, yes and no. So as with anything, it's both and there's more than one answer, and it's nuanced and it's individual to you, right? So sending you much love on this Friday afternoon, at least here in Cleveland, Ohio. I hope you are well, and feel free to reach out if you're interested in my mastermind groups, my badass incubators. I have hot seat group coaching. I have a Voxer add-on, so you can have me in your back pocket every day. And I have Awaken the Giant, which includes some individual sessions for those of you who are really ready to just be the intuitive creatrix of your own business and life and really want to jump in with both feet. So lots of options, lots of tiers available and ready for you to be just a little triggered, but not too triggered. Bye.